I know right now, as you mentioned, your message isn't 100% football. You just want to really see your guys and see what you're going through. But just little football talk here between you and I. What are you most excited about, just about this group that you have, that ultimately when you do get on the field, whenever that shall be, what do you like about your team, or what you are most anticipated in seeing?
I like the leadership. It always starts with your leadership, and I really feel like we've got leadership in every room. And there may be some new leaders leading. I talk about the linebacker room, but you know what? Who to have a better leader in place than Jonas Griffith? And how to do it. And I really feel strong about Kelvin Broom and what he's been able to do in the offseason, what Matt Thompson's been able to do. They've always done it, really worked. You're hearing them more. But we've got great leadership at every position. And I'm really excited about that. I can walk into every room. And they hold each other accountable when you have leaders like that. So, and really anxious to get them back whenever that may be. I don't know. No one knows. But obviously we've got great leadership. That's probably where I'm really most excited about, Luke.
Offensively, you look at when the season started at Kansas to year's end, offense totally evolved a year ago. And there were a lot of reasons for that. Injuries, personnel, all of that played a factor into that situation. As you work with Coach Switz and the offensive staff right now, as you get ready for the upcoming season, not that I want you to give out any secrets, but what kind of offense do you really expect to run? After last year, we saw a plethora of different formations and a plethora of different personnel packages that you guys used.
Well, I think, the advantage we have is our system is in place. And, I'll talk about the defense second, but, Coach Switzer in his first year was our run game coordinator. And obviously our run game was outstanding. And, we at one time we were leading the country in rushing. And, we went through a plethora of running backs, but really, really good running the football. And then the next year he took over the coordinating of the whole offense. And so now we're going into our third year where he's got a good emphasis, good, obviously a good pulse of what we're doing. And so do our players. The terminology hadn't changed, what we're doing. Coach Switz has been in front of the offense now for going into 3 years. So I feel really good about the progress we'll make. Defensively, same thing. Coach Wilson's been with us for going into his fourth year. And you hate to lose coaches, but I'm awfully happy for the ones that have been able to advance. That's what you want. You want coaches to be able to make that next step. And I believe every coach that I've been fortunate to hire will eventually be a head coach. And I want these coaches to advance. We lost a coach to the Houston Texans. We lost a coach to Ole Miss. We lost a coach to San Diego State. And you're really happy for those young men to have those opportunities, because I believe all of our coaches will be head coaches someday, and I want them to evolve. But back to the offense, I'm really excited because of, Coach Switz has been has run the deal for, really 3 years now, and obviously Brad running it for now 4 years.
Of course, so much, offensively you do get to look forward to. You have a great weapon at wide receiver in Dante Hendricks, who has had a really strong career so far at Indiana State, with his name going across the record book in a lot of those categories. But, you lose a lot up front. You do get Big Tuna coming back for another year. When you look at those key positions, I'm sure, as what you alluded to earlier, knowing there's great leadership in those rooms probably caused you to not have as many sleepless nights, knowing the leadership that you have at those positions.
Well, unfortunately not having spring practice, but, fortunately we were going into spring practice as healthy as we'd ever been, and we went through winter conditioning, had a really outstanding winter conditioning program. I thought we really made some great improvements, some great strength numbers, good size numbers. And I thought we were really, on track there. But the health, we're as healthy as we ever been. We had a couple guys out, but in years past, we had 3-4 times, more. And so we were going into it healthy. So obviously Isaiah Edwards is full go. You know, we had Peterson Curligran, who was banged up throughout winter conditioning last year. Isaiah sat out last year. Titus sat out last year. Zach sat out Larkin sat out. Matei Thomas. I can go on and on and on. I mean, we had a ton of guys a year ago. And so that's the other thing. You talk about the leadership, but you also look about the health of our team and where we are. And that when we do come back, whenever that may be, that we hit the ground running. But knowing when we come back, that we'll be healthy and ready to go. And, that part of it, we're excited. I think the one thing I think you always want to prepare for is what is your plan. And no one knows when that date is. We have a plan in place if we were to return in June. I mean, that's never changed. That was a plan placed months ago. Well, the next step that you work with is you want to work with your trainer and your strength coach. And what would it look like if you returned in July? Okay. Well, what would it look like if you returned in August? Okay. Well, what would it look like if and so on and so on. So, you're always planning, and we're not going to stop preparing, Luke. I can tell you that. We're going to prepare. And whenever it's safe to return, we'll be prepared.
Of course, one of the things we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks is jumping on some Zoom meetings within your football team, basically doing what we'd be doing right now anyways in spring football, and get them in front of the fans. But really, more or less, Coach, in closing, what do you want your message to be to Sycamore fans right now, and what you want them to really know during this time where I know so many folks, are missing sports, of course, but they look, even though I know you feel like you're just a football coach, but they look a lot to you for guidance, and all of our coaches are in that boat.
I don't think, a message is always, every time I talk to one of our players, one of our young men, it's always, are you staying healthy? Are you staying safe? How's your family? And that's all everybody wants from anybody, is that you're staying healthy, you're staying safe. And that's number one. I heard Vicky Hall say it earlier. We're all in this thing together. And it's great to be a Sycamore. Stay healthy, stay safe. And we'll all be back together. And when we're all back together, we're going to be successful as Sycamores, because we got great people here at Indiana State. People make a place.